On a night out, maybe you'd like to just pamper yourself, chill out and just take it easy. But then again, maybe you'd like to go a little bit crazy, a little bit wild. So then you'll do well for yourself if you make sure that your date for the night is equally comfortable with being a little bit bipolar. I'm quite sure mine is. And here he comes right now. Say hello to the new Audi A4. Audi A4, this car's older brother if you will, there was something very clinical about him. It was almost like a surgeon who spent way too much time at work. Too precise and too perfect. And there was absolutely no sense of fun in it. In fact, you could almost smell the disinfectant when it showed up. And all it inspired in you was a sense of lethargy. But just look at this, the younger brother. From a distance, sure, it looks like its older brother all over again. And you start thinking to yourself, well, this date's going to be as boring as the last one. But then it gets closer and you look at that lovely front grille and the plush interiors, and then the A4 pulls out its icebreaker, its pickup line, those lights. When you see those coming up towards you, you just know you're in for a party. But let's face it, you want your date to have more than just good looks, right? You want it to be interesting, have a bit of personality. Now, even though the new A4 is more scientific and techy than the previous one, Kate brother here feels like he's got a couple of loose screws lying around. And he knows how to have fun. And for the first time in years, the Audi is fun. Audi, welcome to the dark side. This is a 2-liter diesel version and it's a complete dream to drive. It is louder than the 3.2-liter petrol version, of course, but don't get me wrong. It isn't annoyingly loud as you would expect from a diesel engine. But that doesn't really surprise me given the sheer amount of work Audi's been doing on its diesel engines, including its Le Mans racer. In fact, Audi says that this 2-liter diesel is about 9% more fuel efficient than the previous A4, and that is without sacrificing any power or torque. Now the diesel A4 costs a lot less than the petrol version, which is funny because in India, it's usually the other way around. But there's good reason for that. While there's enough technology in this car to make Einstein blush, it does lack a few of the goodies that the petrol has. For instance, this is a front-wheel drive and it doesn't have Audi's trademark quattro 4-wheel drive system, which is standard in the petrol version. Also missing in action is the Drive Select system, which allows you to choose between different suspension settings depending on whether you want a hard, sporty drive or a soft, comfortable one. Now the important question is, how does the A4 stand against its competition? The 3 Series BMW and the Mercedes C-Class. Now the 3 Series Beamer, it's a bit hairy-chested. It's stiff, brutal even to drive. The sort of date that would drown itself in beer and then forget your first name. When it comes to the Mercedes C-Class, it's quite the opposite. It's softer, I would say a bit numb. The sort that would flinch if it heard anything louder than opera music. Now the new A4 sits comfortably between the two. Soft on the drive back home from work and hard and sporty when the road opens up ahead of you, like right now. Let me just put it this way. I don't know how the competition would fare, but the A4 definitely gets a second date. That's if I let the first one in.